Picture this, the year is 1754 and the air is thick with the tension of impending conflict. The French and Indian War is about to begin. The colonies are a patchwork quilt of allegiances, teetering on the precipice of a seismic shift. The scent of gunpowder and uncertainty taint the air. The very ground seems to shudder with anticipation. This isn't just a war, it's a crucible, set to forge the destiny of a nation. It's in this charged atmosphere that we find the beginnings of a shift in American political development. Why does this war matter, you might ask? Well, it's the catalyst that sparked political change in the American colonies. You see, the French and Indian War wasn't just about territory or trading rights. It was the crucible in which the disparate American colonies began to see themselves not as separate entities, but as parts of a greater whole. The French, with their alliances among various Native American tribes, were a formidable foe. But their defeat left a power vacuum. The British filled that void, and their increased presence and control led to a common enemy for the colonists. This shared opposition was a unifying factor, a rallying point around which the colonies began to coalesce. Moreover, this war marked a shift in the perceived roles and capabilities of the colonies. No longer were they just outposts of the British Empire. They had defended their homes, their families, their way of life. They had proven their mettle in the crucible of war. But it wasn't just about proving their worth. It was about recognizing their shared interests, their common goals. The war exposed the fragility of their solitary existence and highlighted the strength and unity. It was a harsh lesson learned in the fires of conflict, but it was a lesson well learned. The seeds of unity were sown in the fertile soil of conflict and adversity. From the ashes of war, a new political concept began to take root: unity. In the summer of 1754, representatives from several colonies convened at the Albany Congress, a meeting that would prove pivotal in the quest for unity. This gathering, a first of its kind, was an early indicator of the colonies' shared interests and common goals. Meanwhile, a certain Benjamin Franklin was stirring the pot with his potent political cartoons. His most famous, Join or Die, featured a segmented snake, each part representing a different colony. This wasn't just a piece of satire. It was a rallying cry, an ardent plea for the colonies to unite against common threats. Over time, these seeds of unity began to sprout, gradually transforming into a collective consciousness. The colonies started to see themselves not as separate entities but as parts of a greater whole. The idea of a united America was no longer just a dream, but a possibility within grasp. The French and Indian War was more than just a historical event. It was a turning point. It marked a profound change in the political development of the American colonies. The conflict, with its roots in territorial disputes and alliances, forced the colonies to band together to face a common enemy. This necessity for unity laid the groundwork for a more integrated political structure. The war's aftermath saw the colonies grappling with the consequences of a shared struggle. And in doing so, they began to see themselves not as disparate entities, but as parts of a greater whole. This shift in perception, sparked by the crucible of war, was instrumental in the birth of the United States of America. The Albany Convention, Benjamin Franklin's rallying cry of "Join or Die," all these were echoes of a unity born out of conflict. In the grand tapestry of history, the French and Indian War was the thread that wove together the disparate colonies into the fabric of a nation.